All right, kind of an interesting little article today. The Pope responding to Rush Limbaugh. Seems to be some diametrically opposed people here, right? Um, in an interview with Italian newspaper La Stampa, Pope Francis responded on Saturday to Rush Limbaugh's recent accusation that he's a pure Marxist. Again, Rush oversimplifying things for his base, riling up the base as he usually does. Asking how it felt to be a Marxist, Time Magazine's Person of the Year answered, the Marxist ideology is wrong, but I have met many Marxists in my life who are good people, so I don't feel offended. Pope Francis went on to reiterate his criticism of trickle-down economics, saying it never benefits the poor, instead resulting in the rich simply keeping more for themselves. The only specific quote I used was the one regarding the trickle-down theories, which assume that economic growth encouraged by a free market will inevitably succeed in bringing about greater justice and social inclusiveness in the world. The promise was that when the glass was full, it would overflow, benefiting the poor. But what happens instead is that when the glass is full, it magically gets bigger. Nothing ever comes out for the poor. This was the only reference to the specific theory. I was not, I repeat, speaking from a technical point of view, but according to the Church's social doctrine, this does not mean being a Marxist. So, again, Rush oversimplifying things to make a point. Grossly oversimplification, which people get riled up over. That's the problem. I mentioned last night I was doing show prep last night, usually routine, and I ran across this. I don't actually know what it's called, the latest papal offering statement from the Pope Francis. This is Rush talking. Now, up until this, I'm not Catholic, but until this, I have to tell you, I was admiring the man. I thought he was going a little overboard on the common man touch, but I thought there might have been a little bit of PR involved there. But nevertheless, I was willing to cut him some slack. I mean, if he wants to portray himself as still from the streets of where he came from and is not anything special, not aristocratic, if he wants to eschew the physical trappings of the Vatican, okay, cool, fine. But this that I came across last night, I mean, it totally befuddled me. If it weren't for capitalism, I don't know where the Catholic Church would be. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm not Catholic. I admire it profoundly, and I've been tempted a number of times to delve deeper into it, but the Pope here has now gone beyond Catholicism here, and this is pure political. Now I want to share with you some of this stuff. Pope Francis attacked unfettered capitalism as a new tyranny. He beseeched global leaders to fight poverty and growing inequality in a document on Tuesday setting out a platform for his papacy and calling for a renewal of the Catholic Church. In it, Pope Francis went further than previous comments, criticizing the global economic system, attacking the idolatry of money. I've got to be careful, says Rush. I've been numerous times to the Vatican. It wouldn't exist without tons of money. But regardless what this is, somebody has either written this for him or gotten to him. This is just pure Marxism coming out of the mouth of the Pope. There's no such unfettered capitalism. It doesn't exist anymore. And maybe Rush should be held to task for saying unfettered capitalism doesn't exist. There's evidence against that, quite a bit of evidence against that. Limbaugh and Pope Francis could not be more diametrically opposed when it comes to issues of money and poverty. Whereas Francis has been known to don regular priest duds and sneak out of the Vatican to minister to the homeless, Rush Limbaugh thinks poor kids should eat from dumpsters during summer break. Ain't no such thing as goddamn free lunch, says Rush. Yep. Decent folks who believe in tolerance and equality are no longer powerless against Rush Limbaugh's efforts to spread intolerance on the radio. Stop Rush is making a major impact by convincing advertisers on this show to withdraw their ads, and with your help, we can do even more. Just a few emails, tweets, or Facebook messages a week to Limbaugh's advertisers can go a long way toward making hatred less profitable. It is our collective voice that makes us strong. So there's actually a Stop Rush website or Facebook site, apparently. But taking his salary away is not going to solve the problem. What he craves is attention. It's like the kid in the back of the room, the bully in the back of the third grade classroom who wants attention. He wants attention. He's got enough money. He's got enough money. So, no, don't attack him this way. You need to attack him with pure logic. But the problem is, he's a big problem because he loves the attention too. So, well, he's got it now. So the genie's out of the bottle. We must destroy Rush with pure logic and compassion. Compassion, more than that, actually, compassion, because compassion is something he doesn't understand. That's not his language.